Hey everybody, I'm back, and guess what? That's everybody's favorite sound in the world, isn't it? I have a GCPS/Plague Hornet, and I can't wait to dive into it, so I'm not going to waste any more time here. Let's just hop in and see these bits, because I've been chomping at the bit to see these. Alright, let's head down to the camera. Alright, so anyone who's a long-time watcher of this channel knows that I'm not a huge fan of tripods. I'll use them when I need to, but I like getting up close and personal. So, I have not tried to dry fit this together yet, but I will in a second. Let's just go through the little bits first. This is definitely the most pieces out of any of the like Warpath vehicles so far. As you can see, like there's lots of little tiny ones, which I'll get to in a second. So those might take a little bit of time to figure out exactly what they do and where they go. As with all the other ones, as you can see, they have like the very simple like plugs and holes type fitting. So that'll be awesome and easy to put together. If all the other ones are any indication, this one should clip together with no problems and with very little glue absolutely necessary. Detail, of course, is the same quality I've come to expect now, as you can see with like these hydraulic-ish pieces, that kind of thing. Here's the cockpit piece. It looks menacing, it looks kind of pissed off, which I'm a big fan of. I love me some of that stuff. Just as a single piece, I think this looks awesome right here, the rotors. And I think if you don't glue them, don't quote me on this until I've tried it. I'm pretty sure you can just put these in like that, and that way, if you don't glue it, they can shift and rotate and move, which is awesome. One thing I did notice about this is that I don't have a flying base with this package. I don't know if that. I'm sure the retail version will, but I think that's. I don't know if it was just an Adepticon thing, but I don't know. Anywho, it's pretty cool. You got these big, like, cargo door kind of things. I'm sure this is the side pieces, because there's two of them, and then you have the back door, which is much smaller, because it's kind of that's just the design of it. But, yeah, we have the fiddly bits, and wait, there's more. There's a separate baggie, and this is what I'm really excited about, because this is the variant that I am going to make, which is the Plague version. So I will bust that open, we will look at some bits inside, I will not confuse them, and yeah, we'll be right back. Wow, that was like instant for you, but I had to set this up, so it took a second for me. Anyways, in this one we have some more weapons. And how do you know something's evil? Obviously the Plague are very evil, but how do you know? That's right, you attach blades. You attach blades and give it a little battle damage, and all of a sudden, your beautiful starship, your awesome aerial dropship becomes evil. So this one's got the busted cockpit. Here's this one for comparison. So obviously one's pristine, the other one's shot up, dismantled, wrecked, the glass is broken. So yeah, big fan of this aesthetic. It's not only Plague bits in here. This is the, looks like the pilot. He is definitely the GCPS, like, good guy version, because he has arms in the other set. Versus, you have this dead guy, which would make an awesome objective for anything. I know the concept art had this guy, like, strapped to the front to inspire fear or something. Like, he's, like, attached like that, I think, in the concept art, but, again, don't quote me on that. But, yeah, as you can see, these bits are pretty cool. They're pretty violent, and they tell a good story. So I am going to try to dry fit this thing together, and I'll be back in a blink of an eye for you. Alright, so there's a whole lot of pieces, and I think I figured out where like 99% of them go. So this is what the Plague machine gun gunner guy would look like. You can alternatively do, again, lots of small fiddly bits. This is the not-so-Plague version, so it's a lot less crude. It's not like a traditional machine gun. This is definitely like laser rifles. But it works in a similar fashion. Let's go over here to... see, I haven't glued anything yet. This is all without glue, so when things are falling apart, they normally wouldn't be once you glue them. But I just want to make sure I knew where everything goes first. Anywho, this is the Rotary Cannon, which is probably my favorite option for this vehicle in in Warpath and for Firefight. But yeah, each of these little barrels comes separate, and then you stick them into the half circles. This little half circle in the bottom, you can't see it really, but where it creases right there is where it fits into this, and then it gets pushed up into the gun slot. Similarly, you have missile pods, which is pretty cool. Or missile launcher, as it said in the thing. This one, I'm not sure. It just looks like an alternative version to maybe the Rotary Cannon. Perhaps, no, this must be the laser cannon, actually. So this is the laser cannon. This is like your anti-tank version. So yeah, this one looks very Enforcer, very sleek and efficient. This one's obviously the Rotary Cannon. Yeah, and then you have the missile launcher. So those are the three options. But let's get to the goods. Yeah, see, I had to open up the rule book, not only to see the rules, but as a picture for reference. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to build the Plague version. I think the Plague version just looks awesome. And my GCPS guys, they're all third-party miniatures. So I already have two things I use for Hornets. Yeah, so I might make a separate video as like a step-by-step guide on how to make this, so it's less first impression-y, but first impression is this is an awesome kit. It is a little bit confusing, I'm not going to lie. There's some confusing little bits and bobs. Obviously all these fiddly, tiny, small bits, kind of annoying. But the end product and the main chassis is not hard to figure out at all. So that's probably what I'll make the video on, because it's, you know, it's really nice. Anywho, like I said, I haven't glued anything, but everything fits very nicely. It's very obvious how it fits in. But yeah, this is the whole thing. There's another gun on here, which looks like missiles, I guess. These are probably the missile versions. I don't know, there's only so many options you can give this thing. I think this one looks the coolest though, so that's probably what I would go with, but I'll probably keep it to the point where you can switch it out because, you know, why not? Like I said, you don't have to glue this little bit. They spin, so they can kind of adjust, which is awesome. I think it's a really cool touch. This one in the back can also, like, kind of, sort of rotate. I don't know. That one, if you want to glue that, I don't think anyone would be offended on that. Because I don't know, it barely moves. Anyways, yeah, this thing is super cool. Ignore the bits falling apart. It's a true Plague vehicle, I guess. Yeah, you have this back door, which is really cool. And then here's my favorite little part, is these just open up, and it would reveal your troops inside. Both sides do that, so you can actually have it open on both sides, like an old school, like Vietnam helicopter almost. Rules-wise, I don't think that really works like that. It's not like you can have two HMGs hanging out the sides. But if you could, or maybe you will in the future, I don't know. But that would be awesome. You can have guys just like chilling in there. If you want to make this really dioramic, you could really put some effort into modeling guys getting ready to deploy in there. So yeah, in terms of the main chassis, it's really simple to put together, not confusing. The only parts that are confusing are the tiny bits and the alternate version. So let me talk about that for a second. The whole cargo area can actually pop out. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. It's pretty sturdy. Yeah, so the whole cargo area pops out and reveals kind of this empty sort of flyer, which also looks pretty cool. I think it looks better with the cargo lift thing in it. But this is a way that you can, like, you can attach, I think, a mule or striders or something. This is like the vehicle carrier mod. But basically, these little jet ski things are on the side. You can check it out on Mantic Games' website, how it's supposed to look. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the way that one looks. I think if you're gonna have a Hornet, you might as well have the cool version. But yeah, you have like two of these little jet ski things with these cool hydraulic bits and bobs. I love the detail on these. So I don't know, maybe I can use them for something else. But I don't see a lot of utility in this. Plus, rules-wise, it's not like you can drop off vehicles and stuff like that right now anyways. So, yeah. not my favorite bit of it, but I think as a grand total, as a whole, really cool kit. When you put this thing together, make sure you put the doors in, don't glue them, because then you won't be able to open them up, unless that's not your thing. If you just don't want things to open, then you don't, but, you know, who doesn't love their toys to interact? Anywho, that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to glue it together, and then hopefully paint it up soon. I have been making a ton of progress on my Plague. I will hopefully have a full army soon. I'm trying to work my way through all my models that I have for the Plague, and it's been going pretty well. I just did a ton of stage 2s, so I can't wait to show those off, but hopefully I can get the whole army done relatively soon. Yeah. Alright, so I built it, put the Enforcer base on it. Oh, so handsome. Like I said, didn't glue these. Didn't glue the weapon, because you can kind of just slide them in. Probably end up magnetizing that, but yeah, buddy. So you got this super cool thing. It's sturdy. It's awesome. I don't know. This is definitely giving the Tunnel Runner a run for its money in terms of my favorite of the vehicles. So yeah, pretty sweet. You can drop open that. It just looks cinematic. You can put this dude in here. So built up the machine gunner guy. He'll be in the shadows here, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I need to put him or want to put him. I think he looks pretty cool in the back, like if anyone's trying to chase him out. You know, you stick this guy in here like that, and then it's like, you know, anyone following, or he's just kind of spraying. Oh, it's so cool, cinematic and awesome. Yep, really cool details. Obviously, like I said before, like the exposed wiring things for the Plague version, is just really cool. So it's going to be an awesome addition to my Plague army, and I'm going to paint it probably today, because I can't wait on this thing. Ooh-wee. Yeah. I've decided not to make an assembly guide video, because rumor has it that Mr. Community Pat has already made one, and I'm sure his is going to be more official than mine. So yeah, instead of watching me fumble through it, just watch the official video. So yep, that's the unboxing and assembly of the Plague Hornet / GCPS Hornet. Yep, awesome kit. I'm gonna go paint it. Okay, yeah, I couldn't help myself, and I painted this up basically right after I turned off the camera. And so I have to throw it in here now. So yeah, this is the way I've painted my Plague Hornet. It is pretty dang good, I think. This is actually the same color scheme I used to use on my Necrons back in the day, so like my monoliths and stuff already look like this, and that's kind of how I did the technique already, so I just think it makes it look really old and kind of decrepit, and I just like the way it comes across. And then with like the bright whites and the bright greens, it helps kind of bring it out. I threw some golden on this one too, just because I felt like it needed one extra color of pop, because just more silver would have just kind of drowned it out a little bit. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. I think it looks pretty dang good. If I get really ambitious, I'll try to do some rust effects and maybe some of the like tarnishing blue. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. You already heard me gush for about 10 minutes or so of how awesome I think this kit is, and I just think painting it up was a real joy. Had some exposed wiring, exposed plating, that kind of thing. Yeah, I do think I might need to add a couple extra things just to help it pop a little bit more, but I think it's going to look really nice with like my Plague, and be kind of a nice centerpiece for the army, just because it's the only thing of its kind, you know. Amongst all the infantry and monsters, you got this big old flyer too. So yeah, there's my quick paint job. Hope you guys enjoy, and I really think this will be in some battle reports of some sort, hopefully soon. Games are a little sparse right now, but when they happen, they're going to be great. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed my GCPS review, unboxing, painting, whatever, all the above. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you've got yours, if you want to get one. I think it's going to be a hit. I think it's going to be a really really big hit for Mantic because this is such a sweet, sweet piece of kit. Alright, everyone take care, keep it real, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Adios. Bye.